What's up, guys? We are back, and I'm looking at some more MLB plays today over on PrizePicks. Last MLB video, we cashed all our plays. We had a 3-0 sweep. Technical was yesterday, but we had an NFL video yesterday for the, of course, next week. But we have this play from the video before. We were able to cash out all the legs. Kyle Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and Jeremy Pena all went over their fantasy score, giving us 35 to 201 right there. I believe it was like 5.75x. And we're running with another one of those types of entries tonight. Feeling pretty good? Let's hop in. Let's get to the plays. If you guys want a third play in tomorrow's video, be sure to get this video here to 125 likes. Now we'll drop a third play for you guys in tomorrow's video for you. While you're done leaving a like though, you may as well also subscribe to the channel with those notifications on. That way you get in before these lines get bumped to get removed. Also, if you're not already seen the DubClub, don't miss out and check it out because we just cashed out for 18x yesterday, 40 to 720. On the Cubs yesterday. We had Freddie Freeman along with the Cubs stack right there with them being in cores. This has been our track record in the last couple of days or so, like last 8 or 9 days, plus 9 units off of 0.25 unit plays. If you had 1 unit each on each play, you'd be up 36 units in the span of 9 days. That is how good we've been doing as of late. And the best part is that you can get it right now for 50% off. This is my best package, by the way. If you use this discount, it comes with my Discord chat. It comes with all the plays sent straight to your phone, which comes for the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, the MLB, college football. It's a very, very good place to be. You also get all my contributors' plays and all that in the Discord as well. But you see here that this is my track record here. You can see the testimonies, some of the winners that we've had this year, like 50 to 2,000 right there. You have this play or these testimonies here too. We had a streak that cashed out. I got all the way to the last leg. This guy cashed out 2 legs early for about $1,100 off of $5. It's been a great place to be, man. Come join us if you're not already. Again, it is 50% off for a limited time with the link in my description. You also get access to my community chat to talk to me other members about plays or whatever's going on. If you just add me in the chat, I'll respond to you usually in a pretty good time. You also have my contributors plays. You can get theirs plays. That comes from Asmies, Emo, Elo, Nerd Alert, Astronaut Doe, and Nev. It's mainly some golf plays, some WNBA, some soccer, some esports, and some Wake and Cash KBO plays. Great place to be. Come join us with the link in my description. Right now, it is a limited time offer of 50% off with the link in my description. With that out of the way, let's get to these free plays. Make sure you play responsibly at your own risk. Like on this video here and subscribe if you're not already, and let's get to these plays. The first play like on the PrizePicks board for tonight's slate is going to be over, of course, in the fantasy score category, that being Bryce Harper over 6.5 hitter fantasy score. Whenever I take a fantasy score over on PrizePicks, just know if you are on another app out there that I would instead like the over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Depending on the player too, you could actually take the over of 2.5. It's just kind of up to you for the most part. But Bryce Harper, I think is in a great spot here for his fantasy score. So Bryce Harper has been over his fantasy score in about 51% of games this year. But we're going to be banking on the Phillies today, who play tonight. They are the lone night game tonight, playing at 7:10 Eastern. They would be at home as a minus 168 favorite with a 9-run over/under. They are facing pitcher with a .9 ERA. However, the Phillies are expected to put in some work today. And in wins this year, the Phillies have been very good, especially Bryce Harper, going over on 58% of games. Wins at home, though, 53%, so a little bit worse, especially on the road in home wins. If you look at the last 20, though, he's been a little bit better in terms of wins. You can see over 50%, but it changes a lot, too, when you factor in 2+ run wins. I mean, 67% right there. At home, 63%. Overall, though, I think he's in a pretty good spot, as well as the matchup for him here. You can see what the matchup is looking like here. Right now, he's going to be facing a righty. He's a lefty himself. But a 258 batting average here against righties for Bryce Harper, while Wildrip is a little bit worse against lefties himself, which is expected with a 2.76 ERA and a 2.76 batting average allowed and a 1.2 ERA. But he is very, very new to the MLB. He's only had like a couple of games so far, which is why his ERA is actually so low. I think the Phillies are going to increase that tonight, although he has been pretty impressive in these couple of games. But he's been facing mainly the splitter, the cutter, and the sinker today. Bryce Harper is. 367 on-base average this year, but against the splitter is a 374. The cutter is a 587, and the sinker is a 339. So he's very elite against that splitter and the cutter, which is his 2 most thrown pitches, especially that cutter. 587 on-base average this year. He's getting on base about 59% of the time against the cutter, which is ridiculously good. So I think Harper's in a pretty good spot, especially if you can get a hold of that cutter. I would expect at least a base hit today from Harper with some RBI and run opportunities if the Phillies do indeed come to play today. And hopefully they can put some runs up tonight. But that just leads me to the second player that I'm going to talk about here, being his teammate, of course. It's going to be that same type of sack that we did in the last video where we went 3 for 3. That's going to be Kyle Schwarber over 6.5 hitter fantasy score in this game here. So Kyle Schwarber has been over his fantasy in 54% of games this year. And wins this year, though, he's been even better, of course, going over in 68%. Wins at home, 69%. And, of course, just like Harper, if you bump that up to 2+ runs, 79% hit rate. At home, 80%. Now you can see his kind of track record and how he faces against righties and all that. It's just a very small decrease to his batting average against righties. But again, Waldrop is a lot worse against lefties, which Harper and Schwarber are both lefties. Now talking about the pitch mix here, though, Schwarber is about a 400 on-base average this year, but against the splitter is a 335, the cutter is a 488, and the sinker is a 446. So he may suck a little bit against that splitter. I'd say suck, but still 335 on-base average is still fairly good. But the cutter and the sinker are where it's at for sure. 488 and a 446 on-base average, which is very, very good if you do not know. So I think both Schwarber and Harper are in a great spot to cover their fantasy scores today. They're obviously extremely correlated, with Schwarber batting second in the lineup and Harper batting third. Schwarber gets on with a double, for example. Harper comes up and hits a home run or something, or even just another double himself. Both those guys catch their fantasy score just like that in the span of 2 at-bats. So that's why I love correlation so much, and that's why I like backing both Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber in tonight's games. Now, before we get to my last play in this video, if you're not already seen, DK Pick6 is a newer app from DK, which is available in most states, 18 years and older. So if you guys use the link in my description, use my promo code DOMG when you sign up, because that can get you a couple of bonuses, like a play $5, get $50 instantly promo from DK Pick6. Again, the link will be available in my description. Use my promo code DOMG because it helps me out and it helps you out. But there's a lot of really cool things about this app. You can see they have, like, of course, the normal categories like hits plus runs plus RBIs and all that. But they do have like 1+ hits on the board. They have 5+ strikeouts thrown. Like, not a lot of apps offer that. It could also potentially get a better payout as well. They, of course, have fantasy score on the board as well, actually, which is awesome. We'd love to see that. RBIs, of course, singles. They have a lot of different categories available on the board to you. So it's a very cool app. Go get it for yourself in my description if you have not already. Check out DK Pick6 with my promo code DOMG. All right, now getting to my third play here on the PrizePicks board, we're going to head over to the fantasy score category again. That being Freddie Freeman today over his fantasy score at 6.5. Again, any of these at 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs, I like on the over as well. But Freddie Freeman has been over his fantasy score in 49% of games this year. But I think the Dodgers are in a great spot, just like the Phillies. They are at home with a 9-run over-under and being a 226 favorite here. And they face Brandon Pfaadt, who has a 5.24 ERA this year. So I think Freeman is in a pretty good spot, especially if the Dodgers are able to win like they are heavily expected to. And then wins this year, he's been over in 61% of games. Wins at home, 63%. Overall, Freddie Freeman, though, has been a lot better as of late, too, going over in 50% of games. Wins, though, it stays kind of a little bit lower at 60%. But overall, the matchup should be pretty damn good for him. He gets the matchup here against Brandon Pfaadt, who he has a 313 average against and a 353 on-base percentage, which is pretty solid for the most part. No complaints there at all. 5 hits, 1 home run, including 3 RBIs. And you can see here also that he has a 304 at batting average here against righties, while Pfaadt has a 5.4 ERA against lefties. So overall, we like the splits there. It's a righty-lefty matchup, which is in our favor here in terms of average as well as ERA. Pitch mix thrown is going to be the fastball, the sinker, and the slider. It's a 372 on-base average this year for Freddie Freeman. Against the fastball is a 404, the sinker is a 356, and then the slider is a 330. So the fastball and the sinker are pretty good at a 356 and a 404. Overall, I'm liking the spot for both of those pitches for Freddie Freeman. Should be pretty good here coming from Brandon Pfaadt, who he has already gotten the best of before in his career. So overall, I think these guys are all in a great spot just based off of what's expected for these teams. They're expected to score a lot of runs today. And these guys are going to be batting like the 3 spot and the 4 spot, or the 3 and 2 spots. And overall, I think they should be able to contribute if these teams are indeed going to put up runs like they are supposed to tonight. So Freddie Freeman, Harper, as well as Kyle Schwarber, all over 6.5 hitter fantasy score. Pays out 5.75x over on PrizePicks. Pretty solid payouts. I like that spot for that. I'm not done with the free plays yet, so don't click off, but a couple of reminders here. Don't miss out on checking out the DubClub if you have not already. It's a limited time for 50% off. It's a limited time, 50% off. You get access to all of my plays for all the sports. You get all of the perks of my Discord, coming from my contributors' plays, the community chat, my correlations, of course, which we just cashed for 18x yesterday, and we've been up in 9 units off of 0.25 unit plays in the last like 9 days or so. We've been killing it. So go ahead and join us if you have not already. Again, it is 50% off, and we have NFL coming back a week from today. But here's some more free plays from the Daily Grind tool, and this we're going to show off the best bet to value plays on an app like PrizePicks or Underdog. Right now, they like Jared Goff over fantasy score. They like Jalen Hurts to have a touchdown in this game. Not passing, but it has to be like rushing or receiving. You also have some college football plays here, as well as some other NFL plays like Cam Ward under fantasy score. And of course, some MLB too, like Palante over 3.5 strikeouts. If you click on plus if you plays and you filter it down to a 2-pick power player, same with a 5-pick or a 6-pick flex, you can help find some very good plays to fit into that play type in terms of expected value. If this will interest you, check it out for yourself in my description by clicking on the fantasy bundle and scrolling down. Use my promo code DOMG when signing up for the DGF tool. Thank you for watching. See you guys hopefully in the next video. Best of luck. If you want to make over $5,000 profit on PrizePicks, watch this video on your screen right here.